Has this ever happened to you? You're scrolling through Instagram feed and you see picture after picture of all these beautiful people who just look so happy. And you soon start analyzing your life. You start thinking, am I ever gonna be this happy? What does it mean to be truly happy? Hi everyone, I'm Mark Talukdar and welcome to MTC Ed. Stick around until the end of the video because I'm going to share with you a very inspirational story about a world-renowned speaker, a New York Times best-selling author, coach, entrepreneur, and he was born with no arms and no legs. I mean, you really have to see it to believe it. This video is part of a series where we explore the 8 habits for a successful and happy life. See, everyone has their own way of defining happiness, but we live in such a fake Photoshop world that sometimes it's easy to get lost in other people's life and be mesmerized by it. When really the source of joy and the ability to be happy truly lies within ourselves. Number 8 on the series and the topic for today is, don't hold on to negative labels. Hey, have you ever been told that you are shy, introverted, weird, maybe even a loser? I've been. As a kid, I was shy and quiet. I had a lot of desire to interact with people, but I never really had the courage to actually go talk to them. All that bravado and charisma just existed in my head. I would imagine asking my school crush out, or going to a party and being the life of the party, or kicking the crap out of the school bully. But in reality, I sat at the same lunch table every single day with the same 2 friends, and on the days they didn't come to school, I ate by myself. Even the thought of approaching someone and asking them, hey, can I sit at your table and eat lunch with you? It was debilitating, paralyzing. And you know what? Everybody in my life encouraged my thoughts because they treated me like a shy and introverted kid. They never encouraged me to get out of my comfort zone and try anything new. I was never encouraged to play sports because that's not something introverts do. I was never encouraged to speak up in class because who really wants to hear a shy kid mumble for 10 minutes? To make things worse, I was even good at math and science. God, why did you have to make me a nerd too? For years and years, that was my identity. I was a slave to my anxiety. I couldn't meet and talk to anybody else new. I stayed in my lane. I stayed in my corner just to be out of everybody's way. And then one day, everything changed. I had just gotten out of English class. I'm walking to the cafeteria. My friends have decided to play hooky. And all of a sudden, this girl in my class stops, turns around, looks at me and says, hey, you want to have lunch with me? I was so shocked and nervous. I don't think I even said anything. I just nodded my head and just followed her to the cafeteria. Over the next few weeks, we had lunch every day. First, just she and I, then she and I and my friends, then she and I and her friends, and then she and I and my friends and her friends. And I'll be honest, at first I hated these lunches. I mean, come on, I get 1 hour to myself. I just want to sit in peace, eat my apple, not be bothered by anybody. And now I got this person asking me 1,000 questions about anything and everything who just can't shut up. And guess what? I had to pretend to be interested because it's not like I can say no thank you and walk away, because that's not what nice people do. Over time, something interesting started to happen. I actually started looking forward to those lunches. I would talk more about myself. I would ask about her. This is not something I was actually used to. And not only that, she would actually find more people to bring to lunch to. I wasn't the only victim. We would be standing in the lunch line. She would look around and gather like 10 random people and say, hey, you want to have lunch with us? The only big difference was, instead of just me being the newborn, now there were other people who were also being invited who were probably in the same situation as me. Didn't have anybody else to have lunch with. I was discovering a new side to myself. A side that not only wanted to interact with people, but was actually capable of doing that. It was weird. These people want to know who I am. They want to know what my interests are. This has never happened before. You know, I would love to tell you that from that day onwards, I was an extrovert, social butterfly, and I never looked back. But that would be a lie. In reality, it was one small step after another. I mean, I still had those debilitating, paralyzing fears, but this time around, I took small, manageable steps to see how far I can really go. Today, I'm making a video and sharing my story with the world. 15 years ago, if you would have told me that I would be filming myself to put myself on the internet, I would have said, you're crazy. Gina, if you're watching this, thank you for becoming my friend 15 years ago and changing my life. I wouldn't be who I am today without you. We are all unique in our own ways, but we all also want to fit in, to be part of some group. And sometimes, in our quest to belong somewhere, we just look for the same label on someone else so that we can feel safe with them. But what if these labels were untrue? What if we were just allowing these labels to run our life? See, labels serve a specific purpose. When you're in a grocery store and you see a bag that says potatoes, you know exactly what to expect in that bag. Labels quickly allow us to make up our minds about something. But think about it. Aren't we so much more complex than a sack of potatoes? So restricting our lives and capabilities based on some labels that we believe about ourselves or someone else has put on us, that just seems short-sighted. You see, in many ways, labels control the direction of our life. And if we are able to peel off some of these labels, we can perhaps change the trajectory of our life. Just because you didn't know how to do something a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, doesn't mean that you will never be able to do it. I'm sure there was a time in your life when you didn't know how to tie your shoelaces, how to ride a bike, but you figured it out. And I'm sure you can do both of them now with your eyes closed. Well, don't try to ride your bikes with your eyes closed, but I think you know what I mean. I want to know, what are some labels that were forced upon you? What are some labels that you have put on yourself that you think are holding you back? Comment below and let me know. Also, did you ever have a similar experience in your life where you believed something about yourself to be true and later found out it wasn't true at all? How did that make you feel? Comment below. I really am interested in knowing about your experience. And as promised earlier, I want to introduce you to Nick Vujicic. He was born without arms or legs. He had an incredibly challenging time growing up due to being bullied and ridiculed by everyone around him. But he didn't allow any of that to stop him from what he wanted to do with his life. He became a school captain, got dual degrees, became a coach and entrepreneur, wrote a New York Times best-selling book, and now travels the world as an anti-bullying advocate, speaking to millions of students on how to make positive changes in their lives and communities. He's also a husband and a father of 4 children. I don't know about you, but his story is so inspiring to me. His mission in life to help people rise above crazy adversity is so contagious. I'm going to put a link in my description to his website so you can learn about him more. And that's all for today's episode. Here's a scene from our next episode. And the sad reality is that if 9 of your friends are broke, you will be the 10th broke person in that group. If 9 of your friends are smokers, you will be the 10th smoker in that group. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you again in the next episode. Until then, be kind to yourselves. I am Mark Talukdar and I build people.